GM.
Yeah.
Jam. How we doing?
Not bad, all things considered. Fighting for my life for a second here with my audio settings. Just doing the Jake and Bake simulator this morning, but we're here now. Market's looking green. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. There's hope in the air this morning, I'd say.
Yes, sir. And we didn't put it there this time, which is great. Sweet. Yeah, we can give it a minute, I guess. Let some people show up.
Yes,
appreciate everybody coming through. I know we're a day off here, same time but different day, so appreciate everybody sticking through and showing up through the change. But maybe wait a minute, get a last couple oh yeahs as people kind of trickle in.
Excited, man. Excited. There's it's just more fun to talk about the market when it's green. There's a lot more to talk about too. A lot more opportunities.
Yeah, that is the absolute truth. Excited for today. It's gonna be a good one.
I think, yeah. I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Getting a little ahead of yourself there, maybe. I don't know.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
pretty chill, but not as sick as I've been. So it was nice.
That's good. Need you healthy, man.
Yeah, it was wild. It was only really like 2 days of like really bad, but then now it's been like almost a week and a half of. It's like, goddamn, guys, move past this, please. Plus, I had a theory, man, that I was gonna sicken my daughter, my baby, like 10-month-old baby. She was the first one to get sick, and then everyone else got sick. But I was like way late to the party. Like a full week after everyone was healthy, I got sick, and I was like, man, I hope I don't get the baby sick again. And sure enough, that is exactly what happened. So we got the cyclical sickness here, man. We're never gonna be free. Bullshit.
Dang. She's still sick, or is she doing better?
She bounced back this morning, but yeah, she's just been real snotty and stuff. Which, with a baby, it's just so straight. You can't they can't sleep. You know what I mean? They can't nurse. They can't do anything. So it's just you have to hold them up and let them sleep in your arms. It's terrible. I mean, it's sweet and cute and wholesome, but after a few hours, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, sounds stressful.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh. But we are greener pastures ahead. We're on the mend. All right, well, we can go ahead and get this kicked off. See a couple more people popped in here. Appreciate you guys being here with us on a Tuesday afternoon for an episode of Wake and Jake. Market's looking green, so we're excited to jump in and talk about some stuff we missed over the past week, and then stuff to look forward to ahead. As always, show is rated NFA, not financial advice. Always make your own investment decisions. We just want to kind of get the brain juices flowing. So with all that said, Jake, sir, how are you doing today, man?
Yeah, man, doing good. On an off day here on Tuesday, I had to postpone it. I was out in Arizona for the Lions game. Thankfully got the dub. I was traveling yesterday, so I had to postpone to today, but couldn't cancel for the week. There's too much to talk about. Too much excitement in the air. So
absolutely, yeah, I feel that.
Thank you all for coming out a day later.
Sir, we have a fantastic live audience here with us. Love to see these PFPs bright and early. Yeah, market's exciting, man. I don't know. I don't know if I would go as far as to say, we are so back, but maybe we're back. Not so back, but back. I don't know. Where's your stance on that? Where are we at on the back-o-meter?
We're pretty back.
Pretty back.
We're pretty back.
Man, has anyone told you
I'm not 100% ready to soul back? I'll tell you. I'll let you know the exact point at which I'm ready to say we're so back here in a second. But
Cool. Yeah, we'll
Um,
the scales will tip over into the red or into the green rather, and
yeah.
we'll be so okay. Cool. It's not quite there
Uh,
yet. I'll put the party poppers and my party hat down, and we'll
Perfect.
hold off on
Perfect
that.
gift usage from WAF there. We are pretty much
Pretty
back.
much back. There we go. All right, well, let's talk about it, man. What's the pretty much and the pretty much back? How is macro looking? Talk to us about the market a bit.
Yeah, quick overview of where we're sitting here. Bitcoin on the week up 3.3%. ETH, oh my gosh, ETH up 10.6% on the week. Sol up 9.1%. Um, yeah, I mean we're looking good right now. By all accounts, we're at resistance at the moment. A little higher time frame resistance, kind of from like 62K to 64K, that area. Um, it's a good thing that we haven't really rejected hard off that resistance. We kind of just been consolidating a bit right under it, which is usually a pretty good sign. I'd say. Um, Again, to say sorry, Tom, I'm not a macro expert. I just follow people who I think are. So a couple updates and analysis from those guys who I respect. Donald, who I mention all the time, finally back from his vacation, gave a little update himself here. I'll post the tweet, but he has a little graph you can follow along on with some TA marked up on here, and kind of just gives the resistance box that I just talked about here. He says we're basically very close to bears being very wrong. Essentially, if we close the week above or like around 65K, I think it's all gas, no brakes season real soon here. So we're kind of on the precipice right now. That's why I don't want to say 100% we're back because we are still at resistance right now. Um, but it's looking really good. The fact that we are consolidating just at resistance and not any type of huge rejection so far is a good sign. So hopefully we shoot right through it eventually. Also, I mean, like honestly, like the three probably main people that I follow are Don, Web3 Quant, and OGD Farmer. Those are like my three favorites, I would say, and all three of them are very bullish right now. So that's awesome to see. Web3 Quant was notably probably the best calling it. He literally called exact bottom. He tweeted out bottom with a screenshot at like 50K Bitcoin, and it has been up only since then. And he's been talking about how he has continued to be bullish throughout this. All of his models are long right now on all the major coins, including a lot of alts and meme coins too. So that's great. I think notably, all three of them as well are very bullish on ETH and ETH BTC ratio. All called bottom on that. Let's see here. Yeah, here's one tweet from OGD Farmer in regards to that. But I mean, and we've obviously seen it play out, at least in this last week. ETH up 10%, over 10% compared to Bitcoin's 3.3%. Essentially,
I didn't know
because
it
they,
could do that. That's crazy, man. I've never seen
yeah, I
something like
know. Believe it or not, it's gonna be. I mean, we talk about the hated rally. I feel like a lot is mentioned in crypto, the hated rally, and I don't know what could be a more hated rally right now than ETH ripping, given how shitty it's been this entire cycle.
that. Yeah,
Pretty much no one is like allocated to ETH anymore. So many people have capitulated by now that if it does start rallying, there's gonna be so many people that need to buy back, right?
yeah,
Um, so it would be glorious to see if we did actually bottom and he started ripping for sure. Um, Along with that, it's usually altcoin a sign of altcoin season as well, with a lot of other alts ripping at the same time, which is good. Usually a good environment for sure for making money in crypto. That means a lot of opportunities popping up. With it being so rough, honestly, since like March, so like the last 6 months. I mean, alts have just been bleeding like crazy.
yeah.
So it would certainly be nice to have a positive environment for things going forward here.
Yeah, great shout. What a twist, man. Did not see the ETH pump coming. It's a good shout that everyone's kind of shaking out. It's always here and around, but it's just put everyone to sleep. So boring. I definitely didn't foresee it outperforming ETH in such like a short time, or outperform Bitcoin by so much in such a short time frame. It's kind of crazy. And I'm glad to see some Don Alt levels back, man. I feel like it's been a while since we've had these. It's kind of just been, or maybe we just haven't been posting them, but it just seems kind of like wishy washy, big chop market,
Has
little
been.
question mark. But yeah, it feels good. I don't know. It just feels like it's like putting your seatbelt on, you know, while like for the market. It's like, okay, well, at least some really smart people are looking at the charts and seeing this and that. So yeah, excited to kind of know where our levels are and what we should be paying attention to. I feel like we're back on the road now.
Yeah,
Before we
Don
just
has
kind
been
of
I'll say Don has been on vacation for like the last month or so, so he hasn't been posting.
oh,
There
that's what
also
it
hasn't
is.
been hasn't been like the technical roundup show as well, which I usually like because it's a lot more in depth analysis between him and crypto cred. It's a really good show. I'd recommend. They haven't posted that in like a month as well, so I'm hoping for a new one sometime this week.
Damn, they got us out here just exploring with no map or compass, completely off
um,
road.
yeah, I mean, it was probably a good time to do it because there not much happened until recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, essentially, we're looking really good so far. We just if we can get over this little hump here, then we're looking, I think, excellent. Um, and right now, it might be ETH time for the first time and since this entire cycle started. Uh,
Yeah, exciting, man. That's awesome.
yeah, I think going along with that, I think Web3's mentioned this, and I've seen a couple other really smart people talk about how it might be finally time for a lot of charts look pretty good for these kind of like VC coin utility coins that launched in the bear and have been bleeding quite a bit, and are now starting to see some breakouts. Kind of like the hotter new coins that launched again in the bear, stuff like Tia, the modular blockchain that we know and love, and that people staked and got wrecked on. Tau, which is like a big AI coin narrative, near, and then the big L1, the Solana killer, people are calling it, Sui, which has been ripping like crazy as well. I think all those charts are looking pretty good for a breakout too, and that's kind of what a lot of people are looking at is kind of for our first wave of some of these VC coins as they call them to start ripping a bit. So certainly something to look out for. I think it's interesting. I talked about this. I think couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think like these new L1s, these new ecosystems. If you can kind of get in early, and maybe play whatever community and find whatever communities within these L1s that are degen enough and who've been building throughout bad price actions, regardless of the price action, whatever, and have created some kind of like cult community. Those are usually good ones to bet on and get in on early, because if the underlying L1 starts to rip, then a lot of their projects that are building on that L1 can see some pretty asymmetric upside. So those are usually good bets. And a lot of times they haven't released tokens yet too, so those are good ones too. So good farming opportunities that you can usually get in on with low capital, just looking places that people aren't looking yet, and trying to get ahead of the curve. I think is smart, and I think Sui, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, is a pretty good one for that. It seems to be the hot new L1 right now. It's the price is certainly looking like that too, and I think if there's some Sui meme coins out there, NFTs, or just like native Sui projects like a DEX or a lending platform or Perps platform or whatever's being built on Sui that seems like it has a really strong community behind it and people who are diehard about that specific product and about the Sui ecosystem, and you see Sui foundation supporting that project. I think those are all really good indicators to get in on. I don't really have any plays for you off my top of my head because I haven't personally done the research. I just think it's a good play, if someone were to go in there and try to find these things.
Hell yeah, great shouts. Man, the Sui say I'm never gonna get over this hurdle, man. Every time you say it,
Yeah.
I look up pallet exchange. I'm like, damn, it's the other one. I'm never gonna get the hang
Yeah.
of this.
SUI, not SEI, but I mean, they also run kind of together too. So like when Sui runs, Say does too.
Damn it, yeah. Sorry to be the guy that just always brings up say when you talk about Sui, but I'm a crypto boomer now. I have to face it. You know, I can't keep up with the times.
Um, but yeah, that's all. That's largely what I have for macro. One other thing, we saw Fed go with a 50 basis point cut last week during their meeting, and the markets immediately reacted very positively to that. So that was awesome to see. I think just the lack of, I think it was more so just the uncertainty in the market was gone, because markets usually don't like uncertainty. And once that was cleared out, people felt okay to start ripping it and taking some more risk once again, which is great. Right now, based on poly market odds, here I can show it. I can share it here. But it looks like there's around a 50% chance of, based on the prediction markets. I shouldn't say chance, but that's just what people think so far. That there's going to be a 50-point decrease again in the November meeting. Um, a 45% chance right now, and then like a 2% chance of a 75% decrease, and then a 49% chance of a 25% decrease. So essentially, the market's saying we're gonna cut rates again at a 95% chance that we're gonna cut rates again in November. So good to see, good for risk assets. With lower rates.
Hell yeah, great shout.
Sweet.
Well,
Anything from the crowd here on anything that we talked about, macro, ETH, Bitcoin, what have you, Sui.
say.
What did you say? Well, where's Kanto? Where's Kanto at, bro?
Oh
Bro,
man,
Kanto's dead. Don't talk to me
yeah.
about Kanto.
God damn it, bro. I had so many bags in that too.
Man, if there's no questions, I had something exciting I want to talk about, but I got Jabab over here leaking shit in chat in voice hangout chat, so he's kind of forcing my hand here. But if nobody has anything for macro, I mean, if you have questions now, please. But one thing that I wanted to shout out, just because it's mildly time sensitive, is a tweet that just went out from MVHQ main account, covering a new feature that just went live called Social Points. So essentially, you're going to get points for liking, retweeting, quote tweeting, and replying to MVHQ posts. There's more details in the tweet. You can click into it, but points are limited, so it's not everyone. You do have to be kind of quick. So if you want to, go ahead, pop open that tweet, drop a couple engagements. You can actually see your points on the MVHQ app dashboard. If you go into the dashboard, you'll see Engage to Earn as like this new sort of like modal, and then you will see your points earned. They take 24 hours to click in after you've engaged. So go drop a like, comment, retweet, whatever. Go like some older tweets. Have fun. But yeah, get some points up and check those on the dashboard if you want to keep track of them. So yeah, new feature live. Just want to announce that real quick so that you guys listening live to Wake and Jake can get the first mover advantage on this one. Go grab it. Back to your regularly scheduled macro silence. If anybody has anything they want to jump in with.
I guess just a question for Jake, because I know you talk about these people that you like and they have these resistance levels. If we break through 65K, it'll be bullish. Do you usually wait until that confirmation comes in to place those bets? Or is that something that you might place some bets and then monitor if we cross through or not?
Um, I'd say it all depends on like what it is you're doing. For me, I'm not trading those coins specifically. I'm more so right now. I'm kind of just in the trenches trading some meme coin stuff. So those aren't as affected as much. So no, I'd say. But if I was, um, it's more so. I think it's more so for me. It's just an overall like risk appetite meter. I would say. If we are going through, then I feel better about taking more risk with my capital on plays than I normally would. Just because I think that the macro environment is going to be better, so it'll be an easier, I guess, environment for um, risk assets like meme coins, NFTs, what have you, to do well, and we've already started to see that. But I guess it would just be if you are looking for a little bit more confirmation, those would be the numbers. I personally I'm usually one who likes to jump the gun and get an early start, so I've already started taking a little bit more risk. Um, but I just want to point out those levels for people who are more conservative and want to wait until actual confirmation, which you certainly can be, and there's no problem with that.
Awesome. Appreciate it, dude.
Hey Ross, while we have you, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I saw that the Hamster Combat airdrop, or sorry, the claim, maybe it's an airdrop, maybe it's a claim, is coming up on September 26th. I know you had
Oh, no
previously
way.
talked on our show about your short position, so I just wanted to follow up with that and see if you had any updates or any plans in place for TGE.
Dude, appreciate it. I'm always happy to talk the biggest piece of vaporware in the world. Um, no, it's doing great, dude. I sold about 50% of the position. Bought some more recently, actually, because it hit 5 cents a token, bounced up to 11. So I shorted again there. So I'm back into my original size, but have some profit on the side. I know they're upping the supply to 100 billion tokens. So there's going to be a readjustment soon, where they just readjust for what the supply is, and the price of the token will like divide by 10 essentially. But yeah, I'm pretty much just going to scale out. Like, I'll take profits, but I think with any unlock, usually the best bet is that it's going to go down, and it'll usually go down a little bit and then bounce a little. So probably just sell once it dumps, and then if it goes back up, continue to reshort it and reshort it. But yeah, I actually saw a great thread by Jarvis. Shout out to him this morning about he went to that token conference, Token 2049, and he said a big theme is that a lot of these like Telegram gaming companies that have launched stuff had fake users, and that was like a big theme there. So he was saying VC investors are looking at different places, but I think this is just a prime example, right? Like, I think its valuation is still around 900 million, which is just insane for what it is. So just gonna continue shorting and taking profits when they're there.
Beautiful. Thank you for the update. One more follow-up question, just out of curiosity. When they announced it sounds like they're going to 1/10 of the supply. Is that what you said? Did that have an impact on like the market cap or chart or price or anything that like affect your position, or is it a different type of like tokenomic thing affecting it?
So it's slightly different. They basically are operating in a pre-market environment right now. So for
Mm.
the pre-market, the exchanges will come to like a consensus of what the expected supply will be. So when they launched on pre-market, the expected supply was 10 billion, but that's unconfirmed. So the market cap would be exactly the same. It's just like the token price would adjust for that market cap. So now they announced it's 100 billion, so 10 times more supply. So the token price will just go to 1/10 of what it was, but the supply will adjust for that. So the profit and losses, everything stays the same. So it didn't really impact my thesis at all. But I did make sure that I had like margin requirements with an excess buffer just in case there's some like crazy price action following it. Because there could be some people who just see it, don't know what happened, slam buy, maybe slam sell. So you just want to be expecting slight volatility off of that. But other than that, didn't impact the thesis.
Awesome, cool. And they went the other way. They went 10x. That's crazy. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up. That was really helpful. If you guys liked hearing Ross's insights and maybe his voice, then you can catch him co-hosting Boss Dogs every Monday at 5 Eastern. So definitely tune into his show if you want to hear more insights from him. And then also another shout out, Fantasy Top Down. We're a couple episodes in now. You can catch those Thursday at 2 p.m. But that is Silva and Ezrin going through fantasy top strategies and lineups. And they've been cooking. So yeah, that's probably not one you want to miss. If you haven't seen them yet, the recordings are up. But yeah, definitely mark it on your calendar for Thursdays at 2. Man, we just got to have a lot of great shows, really talented hosts and stuff. So definitely be locked in and make sure you can consume as much of this content as possible if you're trying to maximize your efficiency in this market. But yeah, appreciate all you talented folks in MVHQ, and thanks Ross for coming up here and asking and answering questions. Always appreciated, man.
Of course, bro. Love what you guys do here, and cool to see you in the Tuesday slot. Glad we got our weekly dose.
Yeah. Little weird one this week, but we're here. Jake, what do you think, man? You shorten hamster combat, or you staying away?
I'm not right now. That's not my specific play. But I mean, shout out Ross. He's been all over it.
Sir, love to see it.
Shout out UTHC. I mean, these seamless little plugs in the show, just absolutely killing it.
Hey, it's almost like do this all day, every day. think and talk about this stuff all the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk about one other thing, and it's just I guess a little brief shout out once again to meme coins. I think we just continuing to see that this is a meme coin cycle so far. It hasn't stopped, despite the chop that we've seen over the past 6 months. Now that majors are starting to bounce, once again it's meme coins that are leading the way. Specifically, some pretty strong ones that have led the way for a while now. I think I just had it pulled up, but I don't have it anymore. But Whiff up 20 something percent or on the week, Mog up, Popcat up, Pepe's up, Nero's up like 200% after. I mean, it's up way more than that, but specifically on the week, after Binance listed them, the community version of it, we're just seeing so much strength coming from that sector, and I don't really see that stopping, especially since we haven't even really hit retail. We haven't really achieved any type of like retail adoption yet. I just think like the thesis of people saw last cycle that meme coins were the way that so many made a ton of money. I mean, like Doge and Safe Moon and Sheeb and all those ones. I mean, we saw so many people just print millionaires from meme coins, and it's just hard for me to not see people being like, "Oh, crypto's back. Let me get back into these meme coins because that's how you make all the money." It's hard for me not to see that happening again, and the fact that meme coins have continued to show a lot of strength every time we have bounced. I think just only confirms that thesis more and more. So they're going to continue to be where I'm focusing a lot of my attention, trying to hit the big winners, taking profit when you hit a lot of like psychological barriers, like 50 million mark, 100 million mark, 500 million mark, 1 billion, and de-risking a bit and like rotating to the next play, because it is takes a little bit of a learning curve to kind of get on board and see like what types of stuff that the market likes. There's also a lot of things with like vampire attacks on meme coins, where especially if it's early on, we saw this with Nero. I mean, there was a Nero on Sol that was doing the best, and then there's another Nero on Sol that was taking mind share, and then there's a Nero on ETH that was taking mind share, and then there was another Nero on ETH that was taking mind. It was just there's like 4 different Neros, all vying for attention. So sometimes it takes a little bit for whatever the winner to show its hand in the market. So I think there's different ways to play it. There's certainly a learning curve. I'm certainly not advocating to just dive right in with all your funds and invest in meme coins. I'm just saying if this is an area that interests you and that you also believe will continue to do well, then I think it's starting to become the time again for meme coins to continue their rally. Once people get a little bit more risk on, and that's certainly where I'm going to be focusing a lot of my attention.
Yeah, great shouts, man. It definitely does feel and seem like a meme coin market will continue, right, and be prevalent. So I'm almost wondering if we should try and like cobble together some sort of like office hours or something, just to, like go over meme coins in their entirety and just like all the updates with like tools and just like monitoring and all that stuff. Because I feel like the game has changed. Like it's so fast paced and breakneck. Like tell me, is like BullX or like Photon, are those still like the go like top tools or top things to use for monitoring and trading?
Yeah. I use BullX. I like BullX the best personally. But Photon is still pretty good. I just like how BullX has uh like the way that they do the limit orders. You can do as many as you want and at different levels. And it's really easy to kind of use it on all different chains as well, all in one profile. So I'm a big fan of BullX, but I think Photon's pretty good too. And there's some other trading bots out there that people mostly use. I would say in general, like if you are trading memes, I would recommend a trading bot usually just to kind of help you with not get mev'd. There's usually mev protection on there, um, and just to be able to track things easier. Um, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. We should probably have office hours. We can set something up like that.
Yeah, great shout. And just,
I'll
anybody
second
listening
that
in.
bullet.
Oh, go ahead,
Sorry,
Jinzo.
bro. I was gonna
Yep.
say they also have an airdrop coming, so you should like if you're doing shitcoins, you should be using it. It's so easy to use too. It's such a good bot. Like it's my favorite
Which
one to
one?
use right now.
Yeah,
Bullx.
Bullx has a.
Yep.
Okay, nice. That's good to know. Yeah, I was gonna say for any listener that's not familiar with Mev, we said get Mev'd. He's referring to like sandwich attacks where yes, people front run your transactions, so it just gives you like some privacy on chain for your individual transactions, so it can't be front run and you get squeezed. But I mean, just like stuff like that, like some people may not even be aware, and they just go to swap on, Uniswap or something, and get wrecked. I'd hate to see that happen to somebody in 2024. So, yeah, I think it would be cool to cobble together some sort of presentation. But in the meantime, if you guys are interested in trading or learning about shitcoins, definitely pop into the shitcoin focus discussion. Very helpful and friendly folks in there answer the questions that you have. But yeah, it's a dangerous place. So yeah, tread with caution
Yeah.
unless you're a seasoned vet.
I would say for sure if you have questions about anything, just ask in shitcoin chat. There's a lot of really smart people who know what they're talking about. If you have questions about a coin, if you're not like for sure certain if this is the right coin that people are talking about that you want to buy, or if you want to at least double check, if something seems like a rug or if it seems like a good coin, just post in shitcoin chat. We can certainly suss it out for you. There's so many people in there who've seen like thousands of coins by now, and know exactly what to look for because there's definitely a bit of a learning curve to start out.
I recommend if you're gonna shitcoin to join some of those telegrams. The guys that like to call different coins, not to follow everything they do, but just to get a good eye of what others like big
Yep.
viewerships are looking at.
Yeah, good shot. We can definitely set up an office hours because this is a topic that you could just go on and on about for forever. Um, so we can set something up. We'll go more in depth here. Is the season, hopefully.
Oh wow. Okay. Sorry, I just went into a rabbit hole. I saw this mooding
Yes,
on
sir.
on some notes just of like meme coins that had pumped. Um, didn't know what it was. Somebody in chat just said, yeah, mooding is listening to Wake and Jake clearly. So I was like, all right, let me just see what this is real quick. I'll pull up the picture. Dude, my wife actually sent me the picture of this little thing and said, why am I seeing this everywhere? And I didn't make the connection. I didn't know there was a shit coin for it. I still don't know why it's everywhere, but I've seen this too. So yeah, that's so interesting, man. Because yeah, like months ago we talked about like the sort of viral cycle, right? Like the cult, like people's thoughts, like what's meme, what's trending, right? And this is straight up just I think something that's just trending on social media, right? And has a shitcoin now, or somebody please fill me in. It's everywhere
Yeah,
because it's a cute baby hippo. Okay, got it. Yep, that's
yeah,
amazing.
it's a cute
Amazing.
baby hippo at some zoo. I honestly don't remember what country it's in. But it's called Mudang, and it's hilarious. It's everywhere. And, yeah,
The one that I saw was him like biting someone's leg, and it was like I'm about to break. Like the music was like all like pumping and shit. Like I don't know, it just made me chuckle. Keep scrolling. Yeah, amazing that it's just resurfacing, and apparently there's a shitcoin that people are cooking off of.
yeah,
God, I love
bullish
this.
on
I love
Mudang.
this market.
Know a lot of people in MVHQ are in it. That's my
Let's
biggest
go.
meme coin
Fuck
position
yeah,
at the moment is the Mudang, the water cow.
man. That just makes me smile so big. That's great. What a wholesome shitcoin. I love it. I feel underexposed.
THC. I don't know if I'm cutting off because I'm in my restaurant, but Pokemon has talked about Mudang. Obviously, MetaMask OpenSea has tweeted about it. You have all the big companies in the world have tweeted something about Mudang, or even McDonald's made a post about it. Like it's just the best. It's the best mix of both worlds. And the person running the coin just turned their token, basically Mudang Soul Twitter account. They turned it into a fan page, basically, so it could be more like open for normies too. So it's a smart move by them. They didn't just turn it into a shitcoin Twitter. They actually turned it into a fan page. So it's a lot more accepted that way. I think it's a crazy movement, man, and it's getting millions of views in the last month for this little water cow.
Man, that is incredible. Yeah, appreciate the context. Wow, fascinating. Yeah, I had no. I need to do a Twitter purge or something. My Twitter is just useless. I've seen it. I've seen all the like Web 2 references, right? Like a normal media and like companies and stuff. I hadn't seen any Web 3 coverage at all until literally right now. Wake and Jake, people are like, "Mooding." That's amazing, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, good Twitter purchase, highly recommended. How to use the Twitter for alpha and get rid of all the noise.
Yeah, it's way too much noise and just rage bait. Like I don't. I can't even use it. I scroll for a little bit and I'm like, yeah, this is terrible, and I just leave. Interact with MVHQ account, of course, naturally, and then I leave. That was a subtle plug. Well, sweet. All right, sorry to derail with Moodang. Man, I just can't stop staring at his happy little face. Was there anything else for shitcoins, or you think we got that covered? Man, this seems like the marquee topic here. Man, this should have brought this up first.
Yes, sir. No, I said my piece. You pumped my Mudang bags. So I mean the mission accomplished.
Let's
Anyone else have
go.
anything on shitcoins, or move on to something else?
Just to touch on what you said, I'll add that obviously when the market crashes 5-10%, your shitcoins might take a 50% hit. So please be responsible and do like Jake said. You need to sell on the way up. Don't get greedy because you're gonna get other buying opportunities if you want to, but you need that liquidity on hand to do so. So especially with shitcoins, be very responsible when you play.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this little baby hippo. I don't think he can hurt me. I think I should just put all my money in there. Max bet, full send.
Dude, it's the funniest thing. THC, go down the rabbit hole, bro. The videos, she has such an attitude. It's such a funny thing. I don't see how this can fail. Like we're all goo goo gaga over a dog with a hat on. Imagine what this does. There's just so much you can do with this, bro.
NFA,
What's the market cap currently?
anything could fail. It's
That's
like 67 million right now.
67. Wow, I thought you were
Consolidated
gonna
all
say.
weekend.
Wow. Okay, that
Yeah,
seems.
it consolidated all weekend. It pumped up before the weekend to like 55 or almost 60, and then it came down to in the 40 range, like low 40s for a few days. And yeah, it was just a matter of time. NFA, until it blew up again. It's too hot.
Yeah. Let's be careful with the language here. There's no guarantees in crypto. But what do you think it was, THC?
I'm surprised it didn't crack 100. I mean, if it's got that much like traditional media like posting about it, I would think 100 kind of seems like the like the breakthrough area where something kind of becomes solidified. Is this new? Is this like less than a week old or something?
Yeah, it's
I guess
pretty
I don't have enough. Okay. I don't have enough info. I just from the hip, just the excitement and the amount of people in chat that were co-signing. I just assume we've pushed through 100 million, maybe multiple, maybe 200, something like that. In between 1 and 2, I guess, is where I was expecting. So you said 60, kind of perked my eyebrow up a little bit. Like, oh yeah, NFA. But yeah, seems interesting. Well, sweet. Any other topics that we want to get through today? We got macro, we got shit coins. Was there anything else you want to hit on? I had a couple like just like random little news blurbs. Actually,
Not
yeah,
to
here, let
steal
me.
the thunder. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm searching for a link. It's just a video I'm gonna post, so go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been so busy with shitcoins and even DFS to not even notice that ordinals and Bitcoin is doing crazy numbers. Like all these new mints that are happening are doing 7 to 10x, and it usually happens when it's super quiet and nobody's talking about it, right? And I think we're in that phase again where things are moving in that sector. Like I don't know if it's a top or not, because obviously the market's doing well, so maybe it's not a top, but it's looking good. It's worth looking at again, and I know these guys are making good moves on a lot of these new like ordinals that are popping off and things like that. So it's worth looking at. I think fractals are doing well too when they launch. But yeah, the market's hot, so you can pick your spots, pick what you're good at, and just like attack. Like or at least consider looking at some options and some plays.
Well said. Yeah, lots of opportunity out there. You make the play you're comfortable with. Good shout. Yeah, I dropped just a video. I just saw this from last week. Parallel released like some gameplay footage from their upcoming third-person shooter, which I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce because I'm gonna miss. I don't know. It seems like a strange name, but it looks cool, man. The gameplay looks pretty good. I mean, it looks high quality. They show off some menus, some systems, some movement, traversal, and some environments. So not a whole lot, but a little bit of gunplay. Looks okay. But I didn't know if anybody had been super following. I know we had talked about Parallel at length and or Prime rather. So I'm not sure how it factors in, but I just figured it was worth a share if anybody's following along.
Yeah, Parallel's one of those projects on my list that I need to like dive into because it just seems confusing about what all they're doing from the outside, but it's also interesting. I mean, I like the thought of like integrating AI heavily into a game to create, constantly create like new experiences. I think it makes sense. And the fact that it's a crypto game that you can kind of put your money on, is interesting. But I don't know. I've seen some cool things lately about it. I've seen a good hype about Parallel within the last like few days. I saw like one of their AI agents or whatever like created a song about like mining whatever their resource is in the game or whatever. That was like a pretty good song. It was just created by whatever their AI is, and um, but I don't know. I need to look more into it because I'm kind of confused that they have like a shooter now and like there's like I thought there's like a card game, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Parallel.
Yeah, that was my fumble. I did the same thing. I was like, I should look into that. I should look into that. And then I finally was like, let me just play their game. And I played the card game, and I just wasn't a fan. I was not impressed with the free to play new user experience, and that just like completely turned me off to the whole thing. And then I just plugged my ears and stopped listening to anything related, and missed the whole Prime boom. And then out of saltiness, have not have not dug in much further.
Parallel holes in here, huh?
I'm trying to
Put
figure
it
out
on
how
the
to
watch
pronounce. I
list.
think it's Tiao Seti. Tiao Seti. Tau Seti. That's probably Tau. Yeah, not T. Tau Seti. Yeah, that seems like just a marketing blunder. It's like, hey, let's release our game that no one can pronounce. So much for word of mouth. Anyway, I did have one more that caught my eye here. This is just a large sale that happened 3 days ago. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but 500K for this AI generated nude portrait. I'm realizing now as I say it, that's a nude portrait. What is that? I mean, what do you?
I don't know.
500K? What?
Yeah, I've seen these before, and I don't know what's going on.
See, Cap says it's not safe for work, and as a mod, I feel like it's my duty to remove it. But I don't see it. Is it? I mean, fuck, I'll delete it right now. I'm genuinely shooketh.
I think he's joking.
I'm just so confused. Like, what? Matt, it's a blob, right? 500K for a blob. I don't know, man. That sounds like we are so back type activities, but I won't get ahead of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, for those just listening, it's a lost Robbie is what we're referring to.
Yeah,
By Punk4945.
200 ETH purchase for an AI blob.
Yeah, maybe Gen Art's back. Who knows?
And then one last little article, one little headline that caught my eye was the Solana phone round 2. They're running it back. Previously, they had dropped a phone. It was about I think it was $1,000 for the phone, but you got like 3,000 in airdrops. So it worked out very nicely for anyone that purchased it. This time around, the phone is better. Improved features and qualities and specs, but they dropped the price to 450. So it's a much more affordable entry, just for just generally speaking in the smartphone market. That's a really good price, and they have currently sold 70 million in pre-orders for the second one. It's called the Solana Seeker. That is
Really?
5x the demand of the original one. So I don't know. It seems like they're not leaning into the airdrop as hard. It's more so like this is a really good phone at a budget price, and then if there's an airdrop, great. That all the better. But I think it's more so just I don't know. Maybe
Well,
they're
the
pivoting
airdrop
to
wasn't
different
by
route.
them. It was
Right.
by
True.
third
Yes.
parties, right? So it's not
Totally.
really
Yes.
something they probably advertise.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Yeah. So maybe the expectation is that if we go back into a bull and we run it back, more Solana projects say why not? Let's airdrop to the Solana phone. So of course NFA, I don't even know if or how you can get one. I think these were pre-orders. It's almost like it's like a pre-order seed almost. But I mean, fuck, 70 million in devices is pretty good. I mean, they might be trying to just straight up disrupt mobile phone market at this point. But we'll see. We'll see if their hardware can back it up. Because like if you get the airdrops, you don't really care if the phone is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter as long as you can get your tokens off. But if it's a good phone, if it's a decent phone, then they might have one of those rare instances where we see a profitable, functional business like a Web3 startup. So either way, I thought that was noteworthy and interesting, something to talk about.
Yeah, 70 million certainly is higher than what I would have expected. It looks like I did the math there. Sounds like that's like a little over 150K orders. So that's pretty good. And I don't think it even comes out until sometime next year, right?
Good question. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, and yeah, you're on the 140K pre-orders at $450. Yeah, not sure about release date. Still waiting on my ton phone, man. I bit and bought the ton phone a couple months
I
ago.
didn't even know there was a ton phone.
Well, shit. They should market that better. Yeah, there was, and it was pretty cheap. But then, like a month later, they gave everyone just like a free upgrade. Like it hadn't shipped or anything. They just gave everyone like it's a new, better, way doper phone now. And they're like, yeah, free upgrade. Click this button. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe they had some manufacturer issues and had to swap or something. I just want some airdrops, man. Please. I had intense FOMO from the Solana phone. It seemed like such a no-brainer.
Hope it works out for you.
Well, thanks. We'll see.
There's some fresh Telegram FUD here. I saw like yesterday, I think, about how they're now going to provide governments IP address, email, and I think something else about users if they get a request from governments, whereas they previously wouldn't, as I think Telegram was kind of known for their privacy, and since they kind of locked up the founder, it seems governments have now put a lot of pressure on them to no longer protect user privacy.
Yeah, that's a lot to process. I don't know. I guess you FUD it. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather you hear the FUD than you say I didn't even know that they were doing anything. You know what I mean? Maybe the FUD is good. Yeah, I don't want to get overly political, but yeah, it sounds like they're just doing what literally every other business has to do. They're just forced to hand over all of our info. I guess that was their thing, though, right? They were kind of the anomaly. They were the privacy peeps. So yeah, it's definitely a blow to their reputation there. So I don't know. Oof. I'm not a big fan of the product in general, so Telegram is unbearable in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Telegram either.
When
Not to
Discord
brag, but
launches-
S&P 500 just hit a record high during the show. So
what?
well, it gets the Wake and Jake bump.
I didn't even know that applied. I'm so flattered. Fuck yeah. So we know we're
I
on
did
par.
have one other topic I wanted to get to here. S&P also watching Wake and Jake. You're right, Fan Squeeb. The Poly Market, rumors that Poly Market is going to launch a token of their own. I'd say it's a pretty big deal. Personally, I think Poly Market is probably the best, like the single like best product in crypto, as far as its ability to reach wider product market fit. That's been born of this last, bear bull cycle, what have you, in the last year or two. Um, I just feel like it's really found its way, and it just like makes sense, especially if you have like experience. Funny to say experience betting on other sports books. I think there's a lot that Polymarket offers that a traditional book doesn't offer in ways that Polymarket is just better. Um, so the fact that it's launching a token, I think it could be valued very highly. I mean, we've seen how much Polymarket has been referenced in just by TradFi people who don't really know shit about crypto, but they reference it for like their election bets. Um, odds as it's kind of like the biggest right now, the most liquid market, I believe, for these election bets. So it's getting referenced a ton outside of crypto. And it's seen very high volume. I mean, almost $1 billion, actually 999 million as we are speaking right now, bet on the presidential election winner bet for 2024 on Polymarket. So just seeing a ton of volume, and the fact that they're not launching a token, I think the valuation of this token could be pretty high. So interesting thread here about CC2 Ventures, who's very well known like airdrop farmer guy, has hit on a lot of big airdrops, talking about the Poly Market airdrop specifically. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially saying very notable. There's already been an initial snapshot taken, so if you are a Poly Market user previously and you put some volume in, then you're kind of already. It seems like you're probably locked into at least a little bit of an allocation. I would expect. We don't really obviously know the exact parameters, but I would expect it would be something in regards to volume traded would be the main thing you would think. We don't know exactly how they're going to play this right now. It's kind of just rumors. It hasn't been officially announced by Polymarket yet. But there could be something like a points program, obviously, ahead of time. Something of that nature. It only makes sense to incentivize more volume on the platform. I would expect farmers to pick up, quite substantially on this product, but still, I think it's a decent one to attempt to farm, as long as I think you can kind of do so in a way that already plays into your current trades, if you will. And I mean that by like a couple ways. Like, one, if you're already putting bets on like a sports book, for instance, you can always just look on Polymarket and see if there's a better line. And just if you're already going to put a bet in on an NFL game or whatever, you can just do so on Polymarket instead. Or like a future, they have a lot of yeah, they have like pretty much every game, I think. Let me see. I'm looking right now. Yeah, and a bunch of futures and stuff too. And I think what's great about Polymarket is the big thing that's great about it is that you're essentially buying shares instead of just doing an outright bet. So say you bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl. you know, or who's gonna win. Sorry, I was gonna try and make a year or a non-U.S. Football soccer reference, and I could not even think of the league because I don't follow. I was gonna for our non-U.S. people, whatever that league. What is the Premier League? Is that the main one?
think
Sorry,
so.
this is embarrassing.
I know less than you, so it sounded convincing. Sounds good.
We'll say that. Yeah, it looks like they actually have a lot. EPL, Champions League, Europa League. I'm reading it off now. So if you know stuff about that. But anyway, basically what I'm saying is you could bet on a future and you don't have to wait until that actually happens. If you kind of gain some points, like say there's a team that's a 5% chance to win, um, 5% chance to win it all, and it then goes to like a 10% chance. As the season goes, you can actually cash out because they're essentially you're buying shares. So you're basically buying shares at like 5 cents if it's a 5% chance, and then is that team increases their odds, right? People are buying more shares, so the price goes up and changes. And then maybe they're now 10 cents. Then you can cash out before that actually happens. So it's not like you have to tie up your liquidity for the duration of whatever that future bet is. So say like the NFL season doesn't even end until February. It's like you don't have to tie up your liquidity till February. If you wanted to, you could always cash out. You know, maybe you cash out less, maybe you cash out more, whatever it is. But the fact that there is a cash out liquidity option, I think, is really nice and unique to Polymarket. Not solely unique. I mean, DraftKings does offer that kind of stuff too, and some other books do too. But it's definitely at like worse odds than what you would get it on Polymarket because they take their cut, and Polymarket does not charge fees right now. I'm pretty sure the lever for revenue that they're pulling is going to be this token. So right now, like they aren't hitting you with those fees that the sportsbook are charging, which are usually pretty high percentage. Um, Rake is essentially what they take out. So I think it's pretty interesting. There's also a lot of like crypto specific bets too. If you want to make, you can bet on stuff like if Caroline is going to be sentenced to prison, or if ETH is going to reach 3K before November. Things like that. Like if you already kind of have these predisposed stances and you feel like you have an edge, you can also use Polymarket as another resource, and hopefully eventually get rewarded via a token from that in the future. And no fees is helpful. So I just want to shout out Polymarket. I think it's a really cool product, honestly. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I think it's something that you can at least like look at and determine if you know if it makes sense, if the EV is right on this specific bet. Then maybe it's at least like another tool in your tool belt to utilize.
Yeah, great shout. A couple just data points on Polymarket that I thought were interesting. So they're looking to raise 50 million from this token. They just finished raising 45 million in a Series B. And I know they don't have a rake or a tax or fees or whatever, but just off the presidential election vote, they have $1 billion wagered in volume. So you have to imagine if they do monetize, flip those levers at any point, then yeah, volume will die off after this. This is kind of the biggest voting thing, I think, this election stuff. Hell, I even saw like I think Barstool like put it out on like Instagram for like before the debate, like it was just screenshots of different bets and spreads, and it was pretty good like clickbait, or I don't even know what you would call it, because like some of them seemed so obvious and it looked like you could win a lot of money from betting that, like so yeah, people in the comments are like, wow, these are free money, so I agree, it's a cool product. I think it's easy to market it because people see it and immediately understand what is happening. So yeah, man, it seems powerful. Hopefully that airdrop is nice, because I know people have been using it in here a lot, and that would be pretty sick to get rewarded from using it. Man, one of my first experiences in crypto was actually, or my first rug, I should say, was a Polymarket clone on Polygon. Or no, not Polygon, on Polkadot. Sorry, it was Polymarket on Polkadot. You had to be there. But yeah, it was it was a rug, but I didn't know that Polymarket existed. So I thought this was their original idea, and I'm like, wow, that's a no-brainer, winning heavy. But yeah, I still feel the same way about the actual product this time, though. Polymarket, it just makes sense. Just a betting platform for more than just sports. I think it's clever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can actually it actually kind of works like a DEX, like a AMM, where you can actually provide liquidity for bets too, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um, but yeah, one thing to note on that is because it's like that, it's important to pay attention to how it would differ than a normal sports book. Is like it's very important to pay attention to the liquidity of that specific bet. Like you can see how much money is bet. Like if it's in the millions, then it's gonna be a pretty liquid market, and you can if you are doing higher dollar amounts, you can usually get pretty consistent price. But if it's a low liquidity bet, then the price is gonna change a good amount, based on how much money you're putting in there. Like similar to like a low market cap shitcoin. Like if you're gonna buy 1K of like a 50K shitcoin, like 2K, like a 50K shitcoin, then the price is going to go up a good amount. Like there's going to be a decent amount of spread there. Same thing with Polymarket and how it works. If there's lower liquidity, then you're going to be moving price more by the bigger amounts that you're buying and selling, or I guess betting yes or no on in this instance. So just important to understand the liquidity factor here, is that's not something that is normal in a regular sports book.
Right, Chow. I have one more little thing. It's not Polymarket, but it is predictive betting. And this might even be foreshadowing to our Fantasy Top Down episode on Thursday, potentially. Yesterday, Fantasy Top tweeted out a new betting on meme coins. So basically, betting on the engagement that the meme coins will have on X. I don't have any more details than what's in this tweet, but it seemed interesting. Seems like they're expanding the product a bit. So, and we're talking about betting, right? So it's kind of everywhere right now. Maybe we're in
Yeah,
a betting meta.
about that. I know I played some of it this morning, but it's basically from what I noticed. I don't know if they have other stuff coming out, but they started a new form of tactics, which was that form where you basically pay one tactic. It's like $20, and then you select up to 24 stars or whatever, 5 cards, and then you play against that slate. It's not a tournament for 3 days; it's a daily tournament, and it was basically the same as the long tournaments, but single day slates. They're doing that, but with meme coins now. So basically, if you pick Mumu the coin or Slurf or Mog or whatever it is, if you pick those cards and make a lineup with them and they've tweeted the most, then you'll win basically. So it's similar to what they did with individual Twitter guys, but now it's actual Twitter accounts that are for shitcoins. So it's pretty cool. It's called Moonshot. It's nice.
All right, I call Mooding as my star quarterback. He's gonna carry the team.
Oh yeah, I wish I had that card.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool. I know. I'm sure they'll talk about it plenty in Fantasy Top Down. So I'm excited about that. But that's like one of the first instances that I might be like, oh, maybe I'll get back into Fantasy Top with this new thing.
Man, if anybody could convince me, it's Ezrin and Silva.
Absolutely.
One
Sweet
Fun
more,
time.
game.
just really quick shout here, just on the topic of betting and sports and whatnot. Cap has a project. We have a mission ongoing right now. A mission that you can do for free for rally cards. And they also has an active allow list giveaway that you can go sign up for as well. So definitely check out the mission. Check out the active allow list. That's free, so there's no like sort of you don't have to put any money up front, but you can still kind of play along. So yeah, give that one a go if you want to try it out without having to fork over any liquidity.
As someone who's played the product, I really like it, man. I was blown away by it. It was at first when it first came out, it was simple but still very fun. It's like a poker game. I don't know. I think he expanded to have some DFS bets and stuff, but it's fun, man. I think they're building a good product over there, and they're gonna do well. They just need users, so go there and try it out. I think you're gonna have fun with it if you're looking for a way to kill time.
Oh yeah, and correction, the mission actually ends in 5 hours as well. So if you're listening now, don't put it off till later. Go knock that out.
Uh, yeah, good shouts, good shouts. I wanted to give real quick on the Poly Market. I forgot to share this Dune dashboard. I think it's pretty pretty cool visual, I guess, of numbers here from Poly Market. And again, while I think it already has pretty strong product market fit, and that's before they even announced the token. I think it'll only increase. I don't think it's going away after the election. We see stuff like, for instance, this just for like the Fed rate cut in September, there was $60 million bet just on like how much the Fed was going to cut by for that one, and that was non-election. That's like non-election stuff. I think they're going to continue to come up with new stuff in business. In crypto, there's a lot of ones like Ansem versus like BitBoy fight, for instance, is getting bets in. So I think they're pretty smart about how they come up with new bets, and the fact that it's no fees gives them a pretty significant advantage over other sports books. That'll certainly help a lot with, and also just their offerings are different and new compared to other sports books. And I think that just gives them a pretty nice competitive advantage. So I personally don't think they're going anywhere, and right now the numbers are very strong.
Yeah. There's always something to bet on, man. Always.
Wu Dang was in the New York Times. I'm posting it now. I just saw it in a thread.
Man, I feel so late.
Also, huge shout to the goat Relic. I mean, this dude, I think he won like 150K or something over this past weekend in
Shoot.
DFS. Just going crazy. He's on just an insane run. But he was also nice enough to post a field report. I think he just did it just now about kind of his strategy and what he uses to get into it. I mean, this guy's giving away the sauce here. I mean, at no benefit to himself, only really detriment, honestly. So shout out Relic for being nice enough to share the goods with us. If you are interested in getting into any DFS stuff, highly recommend checking out that article. Yeah, just don't join his contest, he says.
Uses his tools against him. And what a legend. He makes it seem too easy. It's kind of bizarre.
He's on a heater, bro. I don't get it. Like he's won like 5 or 6 slates in the last week and a half.
It's like he's the only one playing or something.
Oh yeah. It
Crazy.
doesn't make any sense. His ROI is insane right now.
Crazy.
But I like the second that, because we've been DMing back and forth, and he's been teaching me the ropes and stuff, and it works, man. I mean, it's so hard to just break even every single day in DFS, because that's what you need to do, right? Break even every day, and then once in a while you hit those big numbers. And ever since I started using the programs he uses and stuff, I've been breaking even every single day. So I'm on the right path. And if you guys want to give yourself a chance, don't do it by yourself. Try to kind of get the edge and read up on that field report, because it's gonna help you a lot. Like it's blown my mind and it's opened my eyes, really.
Yeah, good shout. Appreciate it, Genzo. Adding so much color to the show, man. Love having you here.
Thank you, bro. Always happy to do it.
Absolutely, man. Oh man, I'm just excited, dude. I feel good for like the first time in months about the opportunities that we have here. There's a lot.
Same. It feels so good.
Man, I'm so happy, but I'm scared too. I feel like you just flash forward to next Monday. We're gonna be like, damn, we're down bad, guys. We're down 10% again this time. Like you just never fucking know. It's just crazy.
Yeah. That's
That fear will keep you
what you gotta
alive,
do.
though.
You gotta climb the wall of disbelief. That's usually where the best returns happen, is when the market hasn't fully switched over and confirmed that we're going up.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the past 2 weeks, we've kind of just been twiddling our thumbs, like, well, guys, the news is there's no news. That is news in itself, and now it's like ripping. So
Last
who
summer,
knows,
we're in the
man?
good season for it now too. Even though September has historically been not great, I feel like that's also just been the consensus that it has been. So maybe we get a little bit of chop the next week or two, but in general, I'm feeling really good about the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, for the first time in a long time, we have a lot of signs pointing to the good things, like the rate cuts, and you know what I mean, the market heating up, different sectors acting up at the same time. A lot of people coming back from the woodwork, vacation finishing, and we're going into like the fall period for a lot of the world, where people like to stay home and actually trade. I mean, a lot of the signs point to the right stuff. And then election season coming up, that's always like a bit of a, it makes the market react. I mean, I don't know, it just feels good, you know, like it doesn't mean it can't just all come to an end tomorrow for whatever reason, but I haven't felt good like this in a long time.
Love to hear it. Enjoy it, everybody. We worked hard to get here to have this the sigh of relief. So let's bask in it. I fear that we probably have to cut the show here soon. We're running a little bit over. I know there's a lot to talk about. We could probably just stay in BC for the next hour, but you know, for show purposes, for production purposes, we have to end it at some point. So I guess I'll kick it over to Jake. Any final thoughts or questions, and then also kick it back out to the audience after that. So if you guys have questions, get them ready. But Jake, how do you feel, man? You think we're prepared enough for the week, or can we spend another 15 minutes here talking about it?
I'm feeling good unless you guys have any other topics to touch on. I think we, or at least I have sufficiently expressed my bullishness.
We're picking it up as you're putting it down, man. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I guess anybody in the audience, any questions or anything, just before we break and see you next Monday, get them off your chest now. We'll wait a few seconds here, a few minutes here.
Tonka asks about what about the Eigenlayer airdrop? I never farmed that, so I don't really know any info about it. He's asking if that's gonna be big.
Yeah, I'm not familiar either. I mean, I think I got like some pearls or something. If that's even the right thing I'm thinking about. But yeah, I haven't heard them make any waves. I'm still waiting on fucking Tycho, man. The Tycho season 1 ended on the 16th, but the claim has not opened up yet. And I've been known to miss claims, so I'm just like staying on it, refreshing their Discord. Not refreshing, but just checking every ping, and you know, you sigh when you see it's a community announcement. You're like, damn it, I just want the token announcement.
Yeah, Van Squeep says if you guys have Eigen staked, I would go unstake it now if you want to be able to sell when they open trading because there's a 7-day unstaking period. So token unlocks are 6.5 days away. So yeah, sounds like you would have needed to yesterday to be able to trade right at start of TGE.
Good info. Thanks, Van Squeeb.
Yeah, good shout.
Man, that's a bummer. You go, everybody's talking about it day of, and then you go to unstake, and it's like, see you in a week. Oof. Yeah, go take care of that. Beautiful. Well, if there's no question from the audience and me and Jake are feeling good, then I guess we can go ahead and stop things here. But yeah, appreciate everybody rolling through on the off day on Tuesday. It means a lot to us. I appreciate the conversation, and yeah, it's a great week. So excited to see how things unfold here, and we'll see you guys next Monday at 12 Eastern, and then also another reminder, we got Fantasy Top Down on Thursday at 2 Eastern. So don't miss that one either. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody. That was fun. I'm going to get to a call.
Thanks, y'all.
Woo.
Looks like there's a congressional hearing right now of